is why stop at 3? Well, Channel Awesome had ended the Nostalgia Critic for about 45 seconds, tried something else with other people and other characters, and it completely bombed. And after spending a whole lot of money on the first 3 movies, they decided that the next anniversary special would instead be a collection of short films featuring other characters and actors, and they just never learned their lesson, do they? Named The Uncanny Valley, Nash plays the webmaster in between each short, doing the impossible by making Rob Walker really unfunny in these.
Safety is of no concern here. Whoa!
It really should be, because do you realize how many people die from improper meditation every year?
How many?
Well, none. Thanks to us. You know, I hope when you key this green screen effect, you do it right, because if not, like when I wave my hand really fast like this, see that green line? It'll be very distracting.
Ha! They mocked their own production! The first of these films is known as Dragonboard, appropriate title. It follows Carl, played by Carl Custer, a neglectful douchebag who keeps skipping work. How does he have a job? And neglects his girlfriend Jessica, played by Rachel Teets.
Came in here with nothing but a thong on, and you were too busy playing that stupid game.
How does he have a girlfriend? To instead play a nerdy World of Warcraft knockoff, but one day he accidentally brings one of the characters played by Doug Walker into the real world. Then hilarity ensues as Carl has to look after the barbarian who has no idea how to function in reality, but it turns out everyone prefers him. Who would have thought it? My issue with this short is that Doug Walker previously reviewed the Tim Allen movie Jungle to Jungle and ripped it apart for stealing cliches and tropes. But then he made this, which is a direct rip-off of Jungle to Jungle. Someone from an unknown barbaric land coming into civilization and not understanding our ways. There's even an exact duplicated scene where he tries to kill a damn goose. It's the same scene!
After you calm down your children from seeing a pigeon getting stabbed through the neck, you yourself might be wondering, is this funny or horrifying? You laugh, but then you ask, am I going to hell for laughing at that?
Don't get me wrong, they have a couple of funny lines here or there.
You can get married, you can have kids. You can't kill your kids yet, but we're working on a patch for that.
Sleep. Sleep, yeah. You need to lie down after sitting there for 3 hours.
It's harder than it looks.
A dwarvish trap! Stay back, gentle friends!
Back off. No, not from me, from her. You are such a douchebag!
One of his colleagues is played by Malcolm Ray, who is also pretty good in this.
Let me predict the scenario. You're up playing Skyguard. Your woman's nether regions lie cold. Your report is on the table unfinished, and your best friend set an alarm to remind you at 2 a.m. to see if this ludicrous prophecy has been fulfilled.
And there's a really dark joke where he accidentally kidnaps a young girl and gets her drunk.
This youngling was almost waylaid away by bandits, steering a growling yellow worm of terrible power.
That's a school bus, you idiot!
Ballsy, I love it. But then there's lots of unfunny lines.
Run on a soul gem.
No, it runs on natural gas.
You'll harness the wind of the bowels.
What sort of plant does not need water?
It's fake. It can't die.
You have stopped time itself.
It's alright.
But sir, he flipped you!
And I took it like a black Chuck Norris.
I did not just hear that. Ha ha, there's a scene where he washes their food in the toilet. This was the first movie they produced since getting their own studio, so admittedly the production has improved greatly. It does look a lot better. The direction does include some really creative shots, often using the background for comedy as opposed to the foreground. At least they seem to have learned their lesson. Except for here. Yeah, I've no idea what the hell the cameraman's doing here. And the obviously fake-looking horror props. And then Rachel does an impression of Erod whenever Doug Walker talks to him. Although the barbarian just hits on his girlfriend the whole time and Carl still decides to go to work and leave her alone with him. Of course, we get the trope of his life being ruined because we've not seen that before. He literally gets fired because his friend came to work with him.
Now with that being said, who's your friend in the corner? Shit. You're fired.
It is pretty cool to see Malcolm and Jim pop up in this. He'd go on to work for the company for a while afterwards. I mean, I know Jim was into Boldly Fleet briefly too, but shut up!
No, I don't care that you're 12.
Hey, I didn't know Juwario was in this one. Don't get me wrong, Doug and Rachel do a pretty good job in this, but it's just such a random and pointless story for an anniversary movie.
You know what? I like you. You should do this more often.
Well, I would, but we've got no staff left. But brace yourself for the biggest reason to cancel Channel Awesome.
Singing. Yeah, it's actually kind of fun after you've had a few. You know, I wonder why men don't do this more often.
'Cause it's gay.
Oh!
Outrageous! Although there is a scene where everyone tries to get Rachel drunk to get her naked. And weirdly, she's one that doesn't try to cancel Channel Awesome.
Not my proudest moment.
But for a dumb movie about video games, it does actually have some decent dialogue.
Customize your character however you want.
Then you should be honored. You know why? Because I'm playing you in the game.
No, Carl. You're playing me in real life.
And at points, quite inspiring ones too.
So many treasures this world has to offer. So many wonders to be seen. And yet you treat it as a burden. How has it come to pass that you've become bored with simply being?
Where did this come from? The movie actually does deliver a great message.
You ruined my life.
No. I lived it.
But Carl is still a douche to his girlfriend. He doesn't even learn a damn thing throughout the whole film. But I will admit the barbarian pretending to be a normal office guy is pretty funny. Before, ha ha ha, man in drag is funny.
Cause it's gay.
And that's how the short ends. Yeah, Doug's character basically takes over his entire life. Carl gets stuck inside the game. But how kind of resolution is that? I mean, I guess it delivers the message, don't be a dick to your family and neglect them. But what a depressing ending. This one is just weird. I mean, it's not god-awful, I'm just not sure why it's here. It has a decent message and it's delivered okay. It's well acted, some of the direction is off, but for the most part it's improved. It's alright. It's just ripped off from another movie that he called Unoriginal.
I'm just saying.
Then we get an unnecessary deleted scene after the credits about time travel. Is it funny?
The game will send you back in time.
Like, in the game?
No, literally back in time, the whole kit and caboodle, 1.21 gigawatt.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. One minute I'm talking to Steve, then he disappears and I receive a letter from him in 1885 saying not to look for him.
Next up, we get a film called Dragged In. Sounds like the audience. This is a short by Sci-Fi Guy. The world is under attack by aliens and this unknown YouTuber is the only one who can decipher their code to communicate. They decide to rid the planets of all of their cats. Good. But then they promptly get returned. The short is 11 minutes long. It's pointless.
I don't think you're gonna like the results.
No, as in, even the storyline is pointless. They take the cats, people with cats have cameos, then they give the cats back. What the fuck did I just waste my time doing? I could have had 3 wanks in that time. I'll give them this much, the opening credits are pretty good and it has a sweet transition into the film. And to be fair, there is a pretty cool little montage as he does all of the sci-fi mumbo jumbo. It's a cool little spy segment until he takes a toilet break. Hardy ha, how many times has that been done before? You did it in the last movie, for crying out loud!
Seriously?
But for 11 minutes, the acting is dreadful.
The doc says we shouldn't need to see Fluffy for another 2 weeks.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much.
Really not a problem.
You need to come with us.
What? No. Just who the hell are you guys?
We're here on the authority of the United States government.
Mr. Donovan, we're glad you're here. Please, sit down.
What did it say?
My god, this newsreader doesn't even seem like she wants to be there. Brad Jones has a cameo and he clearly doesn't give a shit either. Well, maybe he's funny.
Well, I woke up this morning and my cats were right here. Look, there's Big Lloyd's. He's big, he's got his whiskers.
We get unfunny cameos from Faylis, Brad, Allison, who still looks like she's reading a script.
I just want to know what happened. I mean, I didn't leave the door open.
Of course you did. That's how Faylis wandered in.
It seems that today, Weekend has no cheeseburgers.
My god, how can an 11-minute short feel so long?
That's the last of them. Who would have known how difficult it would be to herd these creatures?
Why do they wait till we're in our rejuvenation chambers before they run back and forth through the ship? That is when I am trying to rejuvenate!
What was the point in this? At least in the first one there was a message. This is aliens invade, cats get taken but then return. What did you achieve? You have wasted my time.
Because I've got a pussycat.
Well, it's about time I put this rope to good use. Alright, Rob does get a slightly funny moment afterwards.
That's why meditation saved me. It's so important. What?
Oh, good. You found my cue card.
Until it drags beyond belief. Oh no, in a Channel Awesome movie. I was shocked too. Up next is a short called The Reviewers. This one features roommates Andy and Jeff who are determined to become famous YouTubers, but...
Hello! I am Count Thomas Howard.
Oh dear God, what is this?
It's chapstick from when you kiss my ass after you see my video.
Oh, you got it done? Why do you think you ever heard from me in 5 days?
Oh my god, I believe we have reached rock bottom. The shocking thing is, Brad Jones wrote and directed this. Now, his writing obviously can't save terrible acting, but the direction is horrendous too.
You can't get unemployment now, and quitting means you can't go back to the temp agency. We all live in this house together, and I cannot carry all 3 of our asses for another month.
And pan up the camera, read bad unconvincing line, and pan back down. The editing, the acting, everything is all wrong.
Not enough people review movies as vampires.
Now it's all the craze.
I'm sure people want to know a vampire's opinion on something other than a bloodsucker movie. That's what I want to give them. You know, why not look at the Asylum movies?
You know, you're not really a vampire, right, Andy?
Can you just imagine Doug Walker asking people to send in films for the anniversary, and then he gets this?
Greetings, Earthling! I am Lord Penis from the planet Ass!
It's not even funny! It's just dumb and shit!
You wedge in the movie review and bam! The storyline brings them back.
No, from my personal experience, and I know Doug gets it too, viewers hate storylines and do not in fact come back for them. If anything, they skip past them.
When's it gonna be my turn?
When you learn how to fucking act! The thing is, at least the anniversary specials prior had other names you've heard of, like Doug and Brad and Lindsay and Joe and Doug and Brad and Lindsay and Joe. But here, they're just complete strangers. I have no idea who these guys are, so it's a couple of nobodies with terrible acting. And then the film just becomes a commentary on cat videos? Although they do predict Shane Dawson.
It just shows me that some fucking perv wants to fuck his cat.
On top of that, it doesn't even have Brad's patented humour.
I don't even think it's really the cat meowing. I think it's this dumb prick's wife getting fucked in the ass by the neighbor.
You gotta expect this, dude. You can't give hatred on the internet and then not expect to get hatred back.
Not sure what's funnier. The fact that that perfectly describes almost every member of Change the Channel, or the fact that that whole message is completely contradicted by another film in this very same series. So they have a party with Jesus, who also can't act. Brad himself actually does appear, but he also isn't funny.
I guess so, man. I didn't buy one.
But you could if you wanted to.
Probably, yeah.
For the love of God, Brad Jones is talking to Jesus Christ and it's boring. Do something! How is this worse than Kikassia?
Reach out in the darkness, my brother, and you may find a friend.
That your shtick? Hippie Jesus spouting song lyrics?
If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife.
Oh my god, it's still going! Do something else! The thing is, Ed Glazier is back after falling out with the Walkers for violating filmmaking rules. Then he happily appears in this, which was filmed on a potato and edited on a Commodore 64 whilst drunk.
You're gonna average what? A video a week? A video every other week? One a month? It's not equal cash, Andy.
It's what I want to do. I love movies. I love being funny. I love talking about the movies I like.
Jesus Christ, they're trying to make it motivational and it still doesn't work. Yet the thing is, if you're a fan of Channel Awesome, odds are you've attempted to do a movie review before. So you can relate to this struggle, but they're still shit! How do you mess up a story that all of your audience can relate to?
What's that?
Huh. Looks like a video response.
Remember video responses? Alright, there is a very funny moment as a hater gives them, well, hate. And he perfectly encapsulates the internet in a single clip.
This is just constructive criticism, guys. So you can't get mad at me, because if you get mad at me, you hate criticism.
Before Channel Awesome contradict themselves majorly.
This guy's wearing a shitty store-bought vampire costume that makes him look like Bela Lugosi's retarded faggot stepson. Fucking faggots.
Yeah, I was booed off the site for using the word within context. But then this makes it in their anniversary special. And, you know, I'm not bitter, I'm just saying even Doug reviewed this. And still used the full clip, so the word was used again. Fuck you guys.
It's bullshit.
Next up, we have Internet Dating and Me. And hey, Mike Jevons finally made it into an anniversary special. In a mockumentary, he's doing a film on internet dating and tries to hook up with a young lady on a blind date, but it turns out to be film brain. Oh, the hilarity. Apparently there's no profile pictures or gender or anything on this website.
Yeah, you know, you might expect somebody in my position to be swarming with girls. I've got my own internet show. I get over 2,000 views a week, which I think is even more than the Nostalgia Critic. So that shows how popular I am.
Okay, that was funny.
I can't go to a convention without people recognising me The last one I went to, some people ran up to me and they were desperate for a photo with me. They thought I was in Big Brother. I wasn't.
So was that. Could this be the one?
I found this pretty cool looking girl. She's from Ireland, which it's a bit of a bummer, but...
What is this sensation? Hey, remember Skype? And a random unnecessary shaky zoom in? I will say I've always loved Mike's sense of humour, although sometimes the acting is questionable.
She must be a fan of the site. Should I message her?
Before he goes through Linkara's YouTube channel.
It's like sifting through shit, hoping you're going to find a nugget.
The film is Mike pretending that he's this super famous YouTuber, but he delivers it so straight-faced, it's hilarious.
I wanted to avoid being Mike or Mike J, so people didn't approach me just for my fame.
In fact, this is easily the best film out of this series. It is so funny.
Oh, I'm really sorry, my phone's ringing. It's my dentist. I'm going to have to call you back. I'm really sorry. Bye. Did you see her? She was scary.
I can still hear you.
It's pretty cool to see Mike and Film Brain interact.
And then I simply take off my trousers and bum you until you wake up.
Ew, not that much. And then, I guess Mike spikes his drink? Why? Did they bum afterwards? I have so many questions and I'm not sure I want the answers. Finally, we have the last film, The Dark Side of the Internet. In a documentary-like editorial, Holly narrates as they go over, as the title suggests, the dangers of cyberbullying. I'll give them this much, the animation is pretty good. It does deliver a decent message explaining how we rely so much on the internet for pretty much everything in our day-to-day lives now. But why is Fader sitting on my grandmother's sofa?
These can range from copyright infringement to bullying, harassment, stalking, verbal abuse, mental abuse. The list can go on and on.
A lot of which all of you would be guilty of doing in about 6 years' time.
I guess that's something that I've experienced firsthand.
Yeah, it's really hurtful when people do that, isn't it, Alice? It's really bad. In fact, there's a lot of hypocrisy in this.
Stop looking to others for the problem and look at yourself. Then inevitably creates the hate camps where fans can become vicious and nasty. In effect, becoming the same type of people who send threats and insults over Twitter. Just because another person disagrees with you does not mean that they are insulting you, your character, or standing against your beliefs.
The animation is a whole lot of fun, but no fault of Holly's, the voiceover does become a bit monotonous after a while as it takes up 90% of the movie. Oh great, Sad Panda is back. Well, maybe he'll have an emotion now. No. Fantastic, Linkara Brad Pitt is back. But what's he even trying to say?
People are individuals. They go through their own experiences that shape who they are, and you present the same situation, the same words to two entirely different people, and they will respond differently because they are just different.
What?
Online bullying, I'd say, probably extends to people who get bullied in real life, using it as a way to get back at people since they can be completely anonymous there.
Why does Fela still speak like he's acting in the previous anniversary movies? It's just like an interview, just talk normally. It's also really cringy to have 30-year-old adults say shit like,
anyone who tells you, oh, it's just words, they're an idiot. Words are important. Words have power.
Especially when Doug Walker doesn't give me his number and ignores my messages. I mean, for crying out loud, they take the headline, some people deserve to be peed on, seriously.
People think that the internet is not real life. And it is.
Look, there's a decent message in here, but if you're taking the headline, some people deserve to be peed on, seriously, you really shouldn't be on the internet.
I've become friends with many people who are just big hardcore fans of my show and of Channel Awesome in general.
You're Linkara. Then they describe me and Blaze the movie fan.
The fan looking towards the personality and the character as a friend, as a role model, and when the personality addresses them, they see it as a thrill.
Although Alison is right in saying how easy it is to get your work out there via the internet to your supporters, which is why it's just so popular.
Remember this film and ask yourself, what if it were me? What if it were my brother? My sister, or someone I love receiving these messages and living this nightmare.
I'll tell them to grow a pair of fucking balls!
It's just a way to communicate with people. That is the internet to me.
And worst of all, the internet gave us Linkara, so it can never be forgiven. And then we end with Rob and Nash continuing to be unfunny before Diamanda shows up for another cameo, and it just keeps on going.
A rabid rhinoceros! What kind of shit do you think I am?
Is that a rhetorical question?
Did I mention there'd be adamant? With flying monkeys and flaming tridents?
My god, even at Channel Awesome standards this is severely dragged down. Did you really think this was comedy gold? What's it got to do with anything?
Just like the fucking British to take advantage of the poor, innocent, hard-working people of Afghanistan.
As if it is still going.
Well, it had to be done. It was a dick. Well, I don't see any problem. What do you mean I can't upload videos on Channel Awesome anymore?
How is it still fucking going? It's not funny. It never was funny. Stop this right now, you hear me?
You know, fly around the world 1,000 times like Superman and reverse time. Yeah, I know it's shit. I know that it is shit.
It's like Diamanda shot it because she wanted to be involved and nobody had the heart to tell her it was worse than AIDS and they kept it all in to spare her feelings. It's horrendous. This anniversary sucks. It's almost impressive to make something worse than the 20-minute cheap budget fight choreographed by a toddler. But here we are. It's unoriginal, it's poorly put together, it's pointless, it's unfunny, and its messages are poorly delivered. The only one that's actually worth a damn is the internet dating and me. The rest are shit, and it's amazing that they didn't learn their lesson, that without their flagship show, this was going to bomb. But don't worry guys and gals, it still didn't end there!